Hiya, happy Sunday. I'm about to head out to a get together by the pool and drink some adult beverages, but I couldn't leave you hanging after the last episode of my indoctrination, so here's the final one. So after the communication course turned me into a compliant little cult member, TC said I was ready for the next step, the Purification Rundown, also called the Purif. Now, the Purif is the first step on the actual bridge to total freedom, what I like to call the bridge to total mind control. Anyway, and he didn't have the facilities to deliver it himself. So he sent me to the Mountain View mission to get it delivered to me. He said they were highly trained and would take really good care of me. What could possibly go wrong? So I walked into another nondescript 80s shingled building. Again, unthreatening, nice receptionist. And all of a sudden this woman walks out. I'll call her P. She was highly tanned, highly blonde, white teeth, very happy to see me. She was in charge of things there, well, she and her husband. She was so excited that I was coming there and she'd heard so much about me and blah, blah, blah. That's called love bombing, by the way, and I'll get into a whole video about that later. So she says, I'm going to walk you down the hall to the Purif where we do the Purif, and you'll meet Mike, who's the Purif in charge. As she's walking me down the hall, I'm walking by offices and people are like ducking out, waving, saying, hi, welcome. I'm like, what is happening? It did seem odd. But again, I had shut all that down. So I just kind of looked and moved on. So I go into this area. It looks like a tiny gym area. There's a couple of treadmills, a counter with all kinds of supplements on it, a sauna, a shower. That's about it. And I met Mike. And I liked him pretty much right away. He was kind of tall, lanky, kind of geeky looking, Coke bottle glasses, kind of nerdy, but funny, really witty. And I figured I'd get along pretty well with him. So Mike explained how it worked to me. Per L. Ron Hubbard, the Purif helps you to sweat out all the toxins and radiation that are stored in the fatty tissues of your body. What? You didn't know that you sweated out toxins? That's because you don't. But more on that later. So here's how it actually works. You start by drinking a half a cup of vegetable oil. So delicious. And then you eat this giant cocktail of vitamins, including niacin. And niacin is like the cornerstone of this program. You start with 100 milligrams a day. And you work your way up until you're taking 5,000 milligrams of niacin a day. Understand that the recommended medical dose of niacin is 15 milligrams. So once you take all the vitamins and niacin, you get on a treadmill, kind of warm things up, and then you get in the sauna and sit there. And you work up to sitting there for 5 hours a day, every day for weeks. So I bet you want to know what actually happened to me. Well, I started itching almost immediately, like my body was on fire. I was just constantly doing this, right? Like a dog with fleas. I wanted to peel my skin off. Mike said that was a good thing because my body was getting rid of toxins. Then came the flushing. Huge red splotches everywhere, all over my body. And Mike would look at me and go, oh, wow, look, can you see those tan lines? You see those bathing suit lines where you're not red? That means you're flushing out all that radiation from the sunburns you got. No, I am not making this up. This is true. And I got dizzy and lightheaded almost every day. But I thought that was just drugs coming out of my system because that's what he told me. One afternoon, I was driving home and I got so lightheaded that I had to pull off to the side of the road for a good half hour before I could drive again. When I came in the next day and told Mike what happened, he was thrilled. He said, ooh, that's great. That's drugs leaving your body. You had a drug flashback. How is that a good thing? I do not know. So yeah, there's zero evidence that you sweat out toxins. There's no scientific evidence to this. Maybe tiny little microscopic bits of toxins, but your liver and kidneys are what get rid of toxins. That's what flushes toxins from your body. Sweat cools you down. But did I care? No, because L. Ron Hubbard was always right at this point. See where my head was? And the really sad part about this is that it's not just, Purif isn't just used in Scientology organizations. It's the cornerstone of Narconon, which is a drug rehabilitation program that doesn't tell you they're affiliated with Scientology, but of course they are. And they use this on actual addicts trying to get clean. Imagine this. And people have died doing this on Narconon. Google Narconon deaths for yourself. So, after 3 weeks, I had reached the level of taking 5,000 milligrams of niacin and I wasn't having any reactions, so apparently I was done. Free of toxins and ready for my next step. Yeah. And if you think nothing could be worse than the Purification experience, think again. Follow me for more culty goodness.